Let's form an LLC together. Start by going to INCfile.com or by clicking the link in the description. The website will look just like this. Next, we're going to hit Incorporate Now. When it comes to the entity type, we want to choose LLC or Limited Liability Company. For 99% of people, this is the best option. You don't need to worry about S-Corps or C-Corps or nonprofits right now. But if you're curious, you can watch one of my other videos that I'll link below. Next, we need to choose the state that we're forming the LLC in. This is the state where you're doing business. This is the state where you have the actual business address. In our case, we're going to choose California. You have multiple packages here that you can choose. You can pay extra if you want these things. You just don't have to. All of these things can be formed on your own for free. It's just extra services. We're going to go with the silver package for now. Put in your name, first name, last name, email, and phone number in the contact person box. This is not public information. This is for additional details for INCfile. The mailing address is going to be the address that you're going to be using for any delivery of the documents that you order. Once again, it's not your business address. This is just the mailing address that you want all the stuff sent to. Let me fill this out really quick and we'll move on. Next, we have to choose a state filing time. Remember, you're forming your LLC with the state, and so they can be a little slow. If you want that sped up, you can pay an extra $50 and INCfile will go turn in your paperwork for you like right away. If not, it can take up to 4 weeks. I don't mind waiting, so I'm going to choose the 4-week filing time. Now we get to the good part. This is where you put in the information about your LLC. So you need to choose your LLC name right here in this box. So in this case, we're going to choose Vanader Enterprise. Notice how I didn't write the LLC at the end. That's because you need to choose the designator for your limited liability company. You can choose one of these 5 options. I always like to pick LLC because it's the easiest to remember, it's the easiest to spell, and it's less characters to type when I'm filling out paperwork. This is how the official company name will be displayed, Vanader Enterprise LLC. Now you need to choose the number of members that are going to be a part of this company. In my case, it's going to be just 1, but if you have more than 1 member, that's okay too. You can add as many people as you want to your LLC. And if you make a mistake now and you want to change it later, we can just update your operating agreement, so it's not that big of a deal. In this case, I'm going to select 1. I always think it's better if there's only 1 person on the company anyway. Now we need to choose an industry. I'm going to pick consulting to keep things simple. Now you see all these little codes that pop up next to all these industries? Those are called NAICS codes, also known as SIC codes in some areas. They are international numbers that identify the type of business that you do. And it's not super important that you get it exact. Just pick something that is generally correct for your business. In my case, I'm going to choose consulting. Next, we have the management method. Are you going to be member managed or manager managed? Member managed is just how it sounds. All the members of the LLC have equal rights and can all make decisions on behalf of the LLC. When you have a manager managed LLC, it's the manager's responsibility to make decisions for the company, such as processing official paperwork, opening bank accounts, things like that. When you have more than 1 member, the default is going to be member managed. When you are only 1 person in an LLC, it is going to be considered a single member LLC, which is the same as manager managed, which is the same as member managed. So if you're just 1 person, don't even worry about it. Choose member managed. If you're more than 1 person, I suggest member managed. You can always change things in your operating agreement later. Now this is the most important part in my opinion and my favorite thing about INCfile. It's the company address. Do you have a company address that you're going to use, or do you want them to provide one for you? This is a really cool service. It's called a virtual mail service. Basically, you pay INCfile about $20 a month, and they will let you use their address in whatever state your LLC is in. When they get mail on your behalf, they will open it, scan it, and email it to you, or even forward it to you. It's a really cool system, and it allows you to remain completely anonymous and not have to use your home address for your business, which I think is really cool, and it's definitely worth the $29 a month. I use this for all of my companies. That way I can move or live anywhere in the world, and I know that my mail is still going to be received. If you want to use your own address, you can click this box right here and fill out all of your information. Remember, we cannot use PO boxes for business addresses. So if you don't want to use your address, this is a really cheap, really great option. Let's hit next because I'm going to use their address. Oh, we forgot to put in our business purpose. I'm going to type that in right now. Okay, now we've gotten to the upgrade section. This is where they try and upsell you on additional services. EIN, numbers, operating agreements, banking resolutions, business contracts. They're going to give it all to you for an upgrade bonus. Now, you can choose these items if you want to. There's nothing wrong with paying them to do it. Just know that all of these things are completely free for you to do on your own. I'm going to leave a link to a YouTube video that I put out teaching you how to get your own EIN for free. I'm going to leave a link to operating agreements below. In case you need your own operating agreement, I'll give it to you for free. Banking resolutions are very simple. They're just a letter. And a business contract templates I have on my website. If you DM me on Instagram, I'll give those to you for free as well. I'm going to pass on this opportunity. Just remember, you don't have to. You can try it if you want. Now we're going to talk about the members. INCfile is going to ask you for information on all the members of the business. So you have to fill out their personal information, everyone who's going to be attached. Now, if any of the members of the business are going to be companies, you'll click this box right here and fill out the company information. I don't do business with anyone. My company does business with people. In your case, if you don't have a company to do business in this LLC, and this is your first creation, choose individual. And we're going to go ahead and click John Doe, 123 Main Street, and use the assigned company address provided by INCfile. Man, that was easy. Last box right here is ownership. If there's more than one person, you can adjust the ownership among members, which will reflect in your operating agreement that they provide. Otherwise, if it's just you, you're going to leave it at 100%. Let's hit next. All right, now we've gotten to the part about registered agents. Every single LLC that is formed in the United States has a registered agent. A registered agent is somebody who is able to receive mail on your behalf from the government, because the government doesn't want to be responsible for tracking you down if you're spring breaking in Cancun. So they need to have someone to send mail to during business hours, especially if they want to sue you and serve your paperwork. That's why you need a registered agent, someone who's available to take mail for you. Registered agent services vary in cost. I always opt in to have INCfile be my registered agent, because I've done it with attorneys and with other people and other services, but it's just easier this way. And it's only like 10 to 20 bucks a month. You can cancel at any time if you want, but at least you'll get a year free to feel it out and see if this business really takes off, and you'll have the cash flow to pay for it. We're going to have them be their own registered agent. Now, one last thing. You can be your own registered agent if you want to. Just know that your address will be public if you are your own agent. You cannot stay anonymous if you are your own registered agent, but it's completely legal, and you absolutely 100% can use your own address if you want to save money. Let's hit the next button. All right, now we're at the EIN tax ID number. This is not typically part of the LLC formation process, but it's something that INCfile does for its customers. An EIN is like a social security number, and every LLC needs one in order to open up a bank account. To open a bank account, you need the LLC paperwork and the EIN. If you need one and you want to pay them $70 to do it, you can, or you can watch my YouTube videos on how to get an EIN for free. I'm going to click no because I know how to do it. Then we're going to hit next. Don't do this. Don't set up a small business bank with Bank of America. Find a local credit union or use Mercury. Nope, not at this time. And then we're going to hit next. Okay, you have two options to deliver the LLC paperwork, also known as your articles of organization. You can have them electronically sent to you via email and your online dashboard with INCfile, or you can have them FedEx to your house. I always get electronic delivery because I keep documents digitally, but if you want them mailed to you, click the option. Tax strategies and consultations. If you're just now forming your LLC, there's a good chance that you probably don't really need this at the moment, but if it's something you want, go for it. I've never chosen yes, so I honestly don't know what they provide. Okay, they've identified 2 licenses. They always do this at the very end. And these are typically business licenses and or business permits that are required by your state and your city. These are things that you can do on your own. They are just going to send you the necessary applications and paperwork for anyone forming a business in your area. But if you want to look that stuff up on your own, you can. If you do want to look it up on your own, check with the state that you're forming with, and check with the city that you're doing business in. Those are the 2 places that are going to require business permits from you. I am going to do the work myself, so I'm going to hit next. We're at the last screen. We did it. Let's make sure all of our information is correct before we pay $104 to form this LLC. The entity is correct, our name's correct, agent info is going to be them, company info is going to be them, and we're going to hit next. Everything looks good. The very last step is the billing information. Just simply put in a credit card or your debit card. Make sure you record this receipt because this is a write-off. So when you form this LLC, you can write off this expense on your taxes. One last thing before we end the video. Each state has different filing fees. If you look right here, you can see that California's state filing fee is $75. That's what it costs to form an LLC directly with the state. We're also paying INCfile $29 for the business address. That's how we got our total dollar amount of $104. If you're forming an LLC in Texas, this number is going to be a lot higher. It's probably going to be closer to $400. If you're forming an LLC in another state, it will be different. So just know that state filing fees are mandatory and have to be paid to the state. Anything extra is what INCfile makes as a private business. If you like learning from me, check out my business school. It's in the description below. I teach this kind of stuff all the time. If that's not for you, I have a ton of free content on YouTube as well as my social media. It's all linked below for you. Keep educating. Good luck on your business ventures and be good to future you.